Hi.
Hi,
Whitney,
welcome
good
in.
to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to be here at Druthers. Thanks for having me.
For sure.
Talk to me about what's going on in this really cool spot that you guys opened.
So we opened Druthers in July of this last year, and I mean, it's kind of as simple as it says. It's coffee and waffles with a little bit of a southern flair. So
I've heard best waffles in town, so
true.
I'm excited to get to try some waffles.
Cool.
Tell me about the inspiration behind the design.
Sure. So I do have a background in design. As you know, we've gotten to work together, but we actually hired a designer to help us.
Wow.
One of our good
Big
friends.
step.
I know. Our good friend Curtis Pop and a neighbor of ours, you know, we bounced a bunch of ideas off of him. I never thought I would get it done if I chose to do it for us. And so it was a really fun experience to get to be the client. I've never been the client.
Wow.
So working with him was wonderful, and having like our ideas come together and then come to fruition. And then obviously since we've opened, there's a few, I'm scattered around the space. It's hard not to.
Yeah, totally. We'll talk about your background, like some of the other
Sure.
cool things you've done in the city of Sacramento.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate to design bars and restaurants, a hotel or two throughout town. I did Crew with Billy, recently Willow at the Exchange Hotel, Hook and Ladder, Bottle and Barlow, Fizz, the champagne bar.
And a pretty well-known mortgage company.
Oh my God, I did! I'm so sorry, yes! And I did your office space.
You did, yeah,
Yes.
which is easily the coolest mortgage office in
It is
town,
probably
I think.
by far, like from where it started to where it is now, is probably one of the most successful renovations we've done. For real.
How about that?
Yeah.
Right on. So you talked about coffee and waffles. Are you guys doing anything else?
Yeah, so we just launched, we're calling it our supper series. So every Saturday we do supper from 5 to 8. And Nick is the man behind the oven over there. So he comes up with a really delicious Southern-inspired dinner, and a lot of our neighborhood comes in, family, friends, and anything from like pulled pork sandwiches to gumbo, vegan soups. Just we really try to serve people what we like to eat. We joke it's just kind of like dinner with the Durans, so it's like rarely on time, but always really delicious. And the whole idea behind the space was just an extension of hospitality and how I think we like to live and eat and like just kind of share with our community.
Love it. So you talked about the neighborhood and the community. How have you guys kind of been embraced in this area?
They are so wonderful. They're extremely receptive. The children in this neighborhood are by far our best clientele. Like they have schedules where like they have to get their waffles at Tuesday at 7 a.m. or Wednesday at 3 p.m. They all know Nick by heart. We all know their nannies. We know their grandparents. We know their preferences. And it's been really cool having our own children to be able to, you know, I joke like, oh, there's people like us, right? That work and are busy and have kids, but also want to just kind of kick back and enjoy something really delicious.
Very cool. Now I know you guys are doing something else within the community, another event.
Yeah, so coffee and cars. So again, Nick, my better half, is a car lover, and we happen to have a coffee shop. So he's like, what if we do this kind of coffee and cars thing? So the third Saturday of every month from 8 to 11, it's just come one, come all, and they line the street. So we just did one this last weekend. We had everything from like a 1970 El Camino to like a 2024 Porsche. So it was really cool.
Very cool,
Yeah.
very cool. Nick, you getting to drive any of the cars?
I did not get to.
Not
Maybe
this
next
time.
Maybe next time. All right, Nick, what do we got?
Very good. So we have, our menu is always going to be balanced with a couple of sweet waffles and a couple of savory waffles. The batter will always remain the same. It's a sweet potato batter that is gluten-free and vegan. And we have the alligator pear waffle here, which is smashed avocado, a little bit of a seasoning dust, some sprinkled salt, pickled onions, and fresh radish and bacon bits. This remains vegan and gluten-free with the topping, so it checks a lot of dietary boxes for our clients.
The radish is so thin.
Yes.
Good.
So traditional coffee cake, we've all had it in a pastry form. We wanted to transform that flavor profile to the waffles. So whipped cream cheese, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of salt, and cream to smooth it out. And then the brown sugar streusel on top is a raw streusel. We didn't bake it, so it wouldn't be brittle. It's actually really nice and soft. Melted butter, a little bit of brown sugar, coriander, cinnamon, and white sugar. And they just go very, very well.
Looks awesome.
Fantastic, yeah.
Looks awesome. So these got to be crowd favorites, I'm sure.
They are.
Absolutely.
This has been with us since day one, and this has been with us since about our second month, and I don't know if we can move away from that.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
can
have a
tell.
few staples.
Aesthetically, that looks really,
Isn't it
really
beautiful?
cool.
Look at the color of the
That is
onions.
so
They're like
cool.
to
Yeah,
die
the
for.
onions just pop right away. Well, let's dig in. I want to try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Those onions are so good. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I don't really even like waffles. These are so good. Yeah. No, but look, like the dough is like crunchy, but also light. Like, how do you do that, dude? I don't know. It's not like this when I make them at the Hilton.